Welcome to this nonprofit podcast NewsPod, where we amplify the voices of nonprofits making a difference in their communities. I'm joined by Kelly Siefkin, Chief Philanthropy Officer at the Sacramento Region Community Foundation, to share some fast and final tips for Big Day of Giving, now less than just 1 week away. Kelly, can you believe we've been doing this for 4 weeks and we're on the last episode prior to Big Day of Giving?
Where does time go? It is sucked into the B-Dog vortex. It disappears immediately.
That's right. I'm getting so many emails from all the nonprofits that we've had on the episodes and done episodes with. It's wonderful to see that they are engaged in doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's great.
Wonderful.
Let's talk about a few things as a recap before we get into Big Day of Giving on May 7th. Our first episode, we spoke about business engagement in giving and how to support Big Day of Giving this year. What have you seen as far as business participation?
Well, we've got some great matches from companies, which is a really cool way that businesses have stepped up. So they are offering a match to donors who go through their page, and they're either dollar to dollar or 50 cents per dollar up to a certain amount. And that's great because that's great support from a business while also really stretching donors' dollars a little bit further. We're also getting a lot of cool prizes from businesses. So you'll see that we have even more than we had in years past, that randomly at different times during the day, we're going to get some additional dollars out to nonprofits, which is wonderful. All those great sponsorships that have been coming through. We've seen actually some group and team pages pop up. So that's really how employers are engaging either their employees or their customers, which is wonderful. And I have to say, there's been some excellent yard sign placement in a few businesses. And they've been sharing some of those pre-made graphics on social that the foundation provides.
Well, and I can also say we have our yard sign proudly displayed. We're right on a corner, so you got the intersection for everybody to see.
Wonderful.
And that's also great to hear that those gifts and or prizes and or matching dollars are in greater effect this year than last, because that is going to engage our community a little bit differently as well. On our second episode in the series, we talked a little bit about trends and tools for donors this year. And with the event now almost here, any last minute suggestions for donors that you want to share?
We have been receiving a lot of interest about options to give this year. So everyone's familiar with the credit and the debit card, but Apple Pay and Google Pay and Venmo, those great digital wallets were added recently. But we're getting a lot more interest in QCD this year, which is wonderful. So anyone who has an IRA that has a required minimum distribution is allowed to give part of that to an organization, and they can choose to do it through many of them from Big Day of Giving. So they work with the foundation. We're able to do that. We're receiving stock for the first time this year. We've already received some, which is wonderful. And we've also seen a little bump in donor advised funds, and I'm not surprised because more donor advised funds existed in the universe than did, a year ago. And so we're seeing more requests from individuals who hold donor advised funds to give to their favorite organizations. I think people are loving that minimum gift is just $10. I like to remind everybody. And if you want to see what you gave last year, there's really an option to refill your cart if you want. So if you want to be speedy with this year's Big Day of Giving, you can always add or remove organizations, change the giving amounts, but it does make it faster. I want to remind everyone that $100,000 is up for grabs, and well as, prizes and ways to boost your gift. And if 910 nonprofit organizations feels too overwhelming, please consider using that discovery assistant to help narrow down the field for you.
And I also like the fact that you said, if you want to give those $10 gifts to multiple organizations speed, next year we'll do a speed giving category to see how fast people can give into different categories with different nonprofits. The third episode that we covered, we talked about the Impact Collaborative. Mm-hmm. Let's touch briefly on that philanthropy for everyone as a reminder. And you already said the $10 minimum gift, but everybody can be a philanthropist.
I spent a little bit of time thinking about that since we talked, Jeff, and I want everyone to sort of put that imposter syndrome to the side. So Big Day of Giving and philanthropy is fun. So we all know the Big Day of Giving makes it easy to give a gift as little as $10. So remember that those $13.8 million last year came from tens of thousands of donors who gave an average gift between $15 and $50. I also think that Big Day of Giving is a great tool to teach your children about philanthropy. Maybe set a budget of $100 for the day, let each family member an organization, and put it in the cart. It's a great way for more people to to be part of this great movement.
And I can see so many opportunities that are teaching moments in regard to this. Find something that you have some empathy for, or an organization that have a passion about.
Yes.
Whatever it may be. Last week, we revisited trends in trust-based philanthropy. Everyone should know that Big Day of Giving is really all about the unrestricted funds for organizations, meaning they don't have to go to a particular cause. They can even fund administration, which is really, really a necessity. What's the momentum you expect to see to continue beyond Big Day of Giving for this trust-based philanthropy?
Well, I hope with the visibility and participation from Big Day of Giving supporters, plus the money that's raised and earmarked for unrestricted, those are two concepts, people will be exposed to the incredible work of more nonprofits and continue to trust them to use the money to fulfill their mission. Philanthropy is one way that you can stand up and show this community who you are. I think a lot of history has shaped really intense expectations of nonprofits to do what donors demand, even if it's beyond the mission or may not be the greatest need. And nonprofits are really now showcasing what impact can look like if trust-based philanthropy is employed. So I love this approach to Big Day of Giving to be educational, connect people with nonprofits, but also lift up the importance of those unrestricted funds.
And we are just about out of time, not only for this last episode, but really for everybody to be ready to give on May 7th. Any last-minute suggestions you want to leave our audience with?
Yes. Big Day of Giving belongs to our community. You are the ones who make it possible. I encourage you to give what you can to organizations that you know about, and I also encourage you to find one you didn't know about before. I encourage you to share Big Day of Giving on your social media. The foundation has all the graphics you could possibly need to personalize, and you could even create an ambassador page that highlights your favorite organization and see how many people have given thanks to your promotion. None of those require any gifts, or just tools that are available. If you enjoy Big Day of Giving and want to explore additional philanthropic options, please contact the foundation, because we're here to support you and your philanthropic journey.
And we will have that link in the show notes, so it's really, really simple for anybody who has an interest. Kelly, I don't know what I'm going to do the next couple of Thursdays until we get to the wrap-up, because I've been talking to you for 5 weeks in a row here now.
It's such an honor, and I'm so grateful to help get the word out. 910 organizations, millions of dollars raised, something that belongs to this community. I'm so very proud.
Well, thank you so much for the really valuable input over these last 5 weeks and helping our community understand what they can do to make Big Day of Giving 2026 the best ever for the most ever. I enjoyed having these conversations with you, and I really look forward to the wrap session that we'll have in a couple of weeks post Big Day of Giving to give everybody the update on what it all looked like, how it all ended up, and how significantly we helped our community nonprofits. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks for listening. If you like our program, please subscribe, give us a positive review, and share with someone you know. This nonprofit podcast NewsPod is a production of Hear Me Now Studio.